existed during the 2010s, you would know about My Little Pony. Probably one of the most iconic and infamous parts of that decade, My Little Pony Generation 4 was developed by Lauren Faust. The show featured the main 6 ponies going all about Equestria and helping people with their problems. But then Hasbro got the grand old idea of, what if the ponies were people? Enter Equestria Girls. Equestria Girls was a series of movies and a couple of webisodes of the pony characters, but now they're in high school. And they're kids for some reason. Princess Celestia is the principal? I remember liking the movies well enough when they first came out, but looking back on them... And one of the main reasons for Equestria Girls' existence is the dolls. And you know me, I really like dolls, but these... I'm not saying they're ugly or scary or anything, but if I saw it at the end of my bed, I think I'd have a heart attack. It wasn't very long until people figured out that one of the main reasons Equestria Girls was made was to compete with the Monster High dolls. And yeah, putting them side by side together, somebody definitely copied someone's homework. And one of the main things that really stuck out to me when I was looking back at the old Equestria Girls movies was the character designs. Oh, brother. Who wears a PNG of their cutie mark on their skirt? Pinky, what is this MS Paint pink? Rainbow Dash. Ooh. Let's not look at these any longer. So I put up a poll asking which ones you wanted me to redo first, and the winners were Fluttershy, Rarity, and whoa! Rainbow Dash! So I was originally going to go for a kind of group photo kind of setup, but I realized that some of the characters would be covering each other and then you wouldn't be able to see the full design, so I decided to more set it up like stickers. For Rainbow Dash, I definitely wanted to go with a very early 2000s Parappa the Rappa Y2K kind of look. And I'm sorry, but this design, it just doesn't really make any sense. Like, why is she wearing a skirt with shorts? You don't really wear a skirt when you're playing soccer. And why is she... Well, actually, why are all of them wearing boots? There's not a single person here who isn't wearing boots. For her hair, I wasn't sure if I wanted it to lay down flat, kind of like how she does in her pony form. I decided that she needs to look very energetic and kind of explosive, so I put her hair into this big, explosive kind of ponytail. I also figured it would give her a better silhouette from the other 3 because their hair is going to lay more down. I also decided to cut her pants in half and kind of make jean leg warmers, I assume. I kind of referenced this picture with what this girl has. It just looked very Rainbow Dash to me. And let's move on over to Fluttershy's sketch for a second. I definitely wanted her to be a much more cottagecore, a lot of natural tones kind of look. In the original movie, she has a much lighter and kind of saturated green, which isn't necessarily bad, but I don't think it really fit what they should have done with Fluttershy. Fluttershy also seems like she'd be someone who wore a lot longer dresses, and in the movie it's kind of really short. So then moving down to Rarity's sketch, I definitely wanted to go very 50s with Rarity because, I mean, look at her. I decided that I should definitely go with a kind of Marilyn Monroe look because Marilyn Monroe is one of my favorite actresses and it just fits really well for her. Also kind of reminds me of 1950s Barbie, which is just such a huge missed opportunity, especially with Rarity's dolls. I mean, come on. I also decided to make her legs a little bit thicker than Fluttershy's and Rainbow Dash's because if there was one thing that they were really missing in the original Equestria Girls, it was just a little bit of body diversity. I mean, come on, we don't have to go too crazy because I know it's like more expensive, but come on, you guys, this sticks over here. on to the coloring. So I definitely wanted to be a lot more vibrant than the original Equestria Girls was. Something I noticed is that with the Equestria Girl designs, like all of the skin tones are just like the pony tones but lighter, and so it makes them all look really washed out, and I definitely didn't want to do that. I was referencing the look of a lot of early 2000s stickers, you know, the kind you would get in like a coloring book or something like that. Some of the images I used for reference for Rainbow Dash specifically. Now, for Fluttershy, she definitely took the longest on the coloring front. I kind of made her a little bit too vibrant in the beginning. You'll see what I mean. I mean, her hair is like Pinkie Pie pink, and it really shouldn't be. I obviously change it. Now, she's got a kind of weird green color going on, which I do eventually change later because it didn't look very cottagecore to me. But for right now, you're going to see this. I actually got really far into the process with this kind of green palette she had going on before I changed it. So it was a bit of a hassle to try and change everything, but I think it looked better in the end. I also put some embroidered butterflies on her dress to kind of give more subtle cues to her cutie mark instead of just the PNG on the skirt, which I think was a much better move. I did a similar thing with Rainbow Dash with a lightning bolt, but not exactly like her cutie mark because I just thought the whole cutie mark was a little too much. Now, to move on to Rarity, who is actually my favorite, I definitely wanted to put her in a much darker outfit because one of the things that they always did in the show was put her in this blue that was very similar to like her eyeshadow, which I get that you're trying to make everything consistent looking, but it just looked really weird to me. I figured that she needed something darker because she is like literally white. So to have a super bright blue just didn't really contrast well with her skin color. Now let's move on to general shading and touch-ups. So I definitely tried to approach the shading different for each girl. I definitely wanted to go more 50s kind of shading style with Rarity, but not too much that she contrasted in a weird way with the others. I also, around here, changed Fluttershy's dress color to something that looked much more cottagecore. Now I began to work on the layout. I definitely wanted to go for a very early 2000s kind of sticker sheet, you know, like the Littlest Pet Shop ones or those very specific Japanese ones. I don't know what they're called. If you know what they're called, definitely let me know in the comments. I added an extra sticker for each girl, like the 20% cooler for Rainbow Dash, and then I also added one big sticker with the Rarity's pony design. I had never drawn the main ponies before this, so forgive me if this little Rarity doodle looks a little rough. I also add a little sticker next to Fluttershy of her pet Angel Bunny. And then after that, I add a couple extra textures to really give it that authentic early 2000s kind of feel. Then, after adding a few little bits of extra flair, they are all completely finished. So those were my first 3 My Little Pony Equestria Girls redesigns. It was actually super fun to try and do an early 2000s kind of art style. It was a little bit different than what I usually do this video, and it does well. I'll be able to do a part 2. And if I do a part 2, which of the main 6 do you want me to do next? Or maybe not even the main 6, maybe Sunset Shimmer, as I've got a lot of requests for. And if you would like to buy some stickers or keychains that I've made, well, stay tuned because soon I'll be opening up my Etsy shop. So, who was your favorite that I did, and what did you like about the redesign? I'd really like to know. Thank you, and see you later.